I'm going to be honest with you all. I've never done any decoupage project. Up to this point, all of my videos were about the things I did at least once, but for some reason, despite my interest, I never got the chance to try this one. I feel like it might be connected with the usual aesthetic chosen for decoupage, especially in stores. Those pinkish pastel photos of birds trapped in the cages, flowers and Victorian fashion plates, the aura of delicacy and romanticization. It's an aesthetic, to be sure, but isn't it weird that it's the only one? Whenever I looked at the decoupage stuff, it was always just this. But I don't know, maybe it was a 2010s thing and now the situation looks different. Let me check. Oh, oh no, no. No, please, no. Hi, hello! I'm Oak, a VTuber and a craftsperson. On this channel you can find various informative videos about approaching specific hobbies while on a very tight budget and with the environment in mind. If you're a hobby hunter like me and you enjoy anything creative, consider subscribing. And now, let's get back to the topic. To be fair, I think I know why I haven't touched decoupage in all those years. You know that aesthetic I mentioned earlier? It's like dressing in the style of 1950s. Usually it only serves as an introduction of sorts, a beginning. A shy toe dip into historical fashion and history obsession. Once you're in, there's no way back. Next thing you know, you're buying old knickknacks, sew walking skirts and discover you're gay. And I'm that way too. Speaking of history, I did some digging and discovered that, same as papier-mâché, decoupage was popularized in China many centuries ago and somehow we know it as a French thing. What's up with that, But what I also find out is that the first decoupage work, according to historians, was actually created in Siberia. But I couldn't find anything more than that. One sentence copy-pasted on every website, so I rolled up my sleeves and used my secret searching method called Google Translate. And as soon as I typed my question in Cyrillic, all info was there. And this, kids, is how we search for things before the VPNs became a thing. Thanks to that, I learned about discovered in Alpine mountains Pazyryk culture tombs, in that part of the globe called Kurhans, in one of which the oldest decoupage work was found. You can see the pic here. It looks like a painting, but in reality those are felt cutouts put together like a puzzle pieces. And it's almost 2,500 years old. Cool, right? But enough about history. Let's talk craft. First though, a little disclaimer. There are different methods of doing this whole shebang and I will focus on the simplest, most available options, keeping the concept of almost 3TM and being as less waste as possible in mind. If after watching this video you'll be interested in exploring this craft more, consider scrolling through blogs of online craft stores where you can see more advanced equipment used and learn about more complicated techniques. Okay, with that out of the way, let's discuss what materials you need, how the whole process looks like, and what you can do with it, aka inspiration section. As for materials, you need an item to be decoupaged, something to stick on it, something to stick with, and some basic tools like a white brush and a plastic cup. Decoupage is the easiest to do on wooden surfaces, so I'd suggest you start with it. A wooden box, clean plank, a furniture, or its fragment, like drawers, will all be perfect for it. But if you want to try making some art on glass or plastic, aside from the materials listed earlier, you will also need a primer of sorts. If you feel bougie or you already have some other hobbies that requires usage of Mr. Super Clear, you can use that. But if your stash is primer insufficient, any primer suited for those surfaces will be okay. If you want to stick with the wood, make sure it's smooth. Otherwise, you will need to finish the surface using fine sandpaper. You can use wood primer as a base, but I'd say it's not necessary for a small-scale projects. As for what can be used in decoupaging, rice paper is the professional answer, but cutouts from old magazines and paper napkins are also an option. Just remember to divide the layers of the napkin, as only the first one with the print should be used in that craft. Theoretically speaking, anything could be used. Fabric scraps, other flat items, but doing that would require laying a big number of coating layers, which, at this point I would rather suggest acrylic to save up on materials and time. As for the glue, this time I refrain from suggesting homemade options, as organic components in wood may cause a chain reaction and a beam of light would shoot from the wood and all of the ants in the area would come to the feast, laughing and running in circles. Most logical option would be to use decoupage glue, which works also as varnish, but those can get costly, so my best bet would be to use a slightly watered down Kamaben magic glue, or if you plan to make more decoupage projects, or I don't know, refresh all of the windowsills in your house, acrylic wood varnish. Those are usually sold in big cans, where magic glue would last 1, maybe 2 projects, depending on the size of it. And that's literally all. You can use decoupage to decorate wooden boxes, photo frames, bookmarks, and decorative wood boards, but you can also go wild and create something unique. This craft has a huge LARP potential. Just look at those gorgeous looking notes of a druid. Artworks created by a very talented 18th century lady. Or that enchanted item from someone's backstory, that is 19th century creation. I, for one, can imagine gorgeous book covers and ceremonial shields, colorful patterns on the walls and aesthetic jewelry. The medieval whimsy, but a paper version. What would you make using this technique? Or maybe you already created something? Tell me everything in the comments below. Remember that next week there will be another spring spinning video. And if you enjoyed my yapping about history earlier, you may be very interested in that one. Hope to see you then. Have a lovely day and bye bye!